everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, August 25th, 2024. I am going to go against the grain right away here on this Sunday chat, and I am going to personally thank Adam Newman for bringing the drama to my screen on Friday when he bold-faced lied to Sally when she point blank asked him if he slept with Chelsea. Thank you, Adam. Thank you for that delicious lie. Oh, I know. I'm supposed to get on my soapbox and I'm supposed to judge him and wag my finger at him, but I don't care. I'm here for the drama, and that's what he gave me. I have got my ticket for the carnival and I'm ready to ride. This is what I expect. Oh, it's funny because I like mostly all of the characters on the show, but there is no one who I like so much that I can't bear to see them get screwed over. And it no matter who does the screwing over, just give me a couple weeks, I'll forget and forgive. I feel like you have to. You just have to. You're stuck with your main cast. They can't do the right thing all the time. This has given us drama. This has given us something exciting to talk about. So I love this lie. Damn it. I have been waiting for this lie to explode since day one when Adam and Chelsea slept together. And the best part is that we are going to get a double explosion. Like, Adam, by lying to Sally that final time, he upped the ante. I mean, now it is a lie on top of a lie. And if you think that Billy was mad screaming in the park on Friday, just wait until we see Sally's reaction. Ooh, that preview. Billy busting into Adam's apartment in what looks like the middle of the night because Sally is standing there in her robe and Adam's trying to diffuse the situation, trying to make it look like Billy is drunk, which maybe he is, I don't know. But Adam is trying to kick Billy out, and Sally is standing there saying, no, let him stay. Ah! I mean, I was thrilled watching that preview. I was like, oh, this is giving me feelings. I mean, it's like the most classic soap move. The affair, the line about the affair being exposed, us getting to watch the reaction. And I don't know about you, but I am dying to see Monday's show. I mean, I'm assuming it's like Monday, but that was a cliffhanger. That was a hell of a cliffhanger. It feels like 1996 to me. Because I'm like waiting. I'm waiting for Monday. I am ready to see Sally walk out that door and never turn around. Never look back. Ugh. So good. This could be it's the end, right? It's the end, but it could be the beginning of something. It's the end of something, but it could be the beginning of something, because I feel like Sally and Adam were just never able to recapture that original on-screen spark that they had in the first place. And now, unfortunately, I just think the time has passed for them. And so I'm hoping that this betrayal will actually push Sally into a more interesting place. Like, I want to see Spectra hijinks again. I'm tired tired of Sally being a wounded bird all the time, tiptoeing around and being sad. Like, she needs to put this energy from the betrayal into something soapy, you know? And I'm not talking about, I'm going to throw myself into work and design a new collection. No, I want something wild and unexpected from this red-headed cannon that we have the gift of having on our show and are not using. I want Sally to go off the rails, kind of like what Billy is doing right now. I want scorched earth. I want Sally to do something crazy. Do anything you want, Sally. I mean, I'll forget about it in 6 weeks, so go ahead. Kidnap Connor. I'll forget about it in 6 weeks. Oh my goodness. I'm actually really impressed with the writing, the way that the story has unfolded, because the secret could have so easily been blown up all at once, and then it would have been a one and done, because I thought for sure that while Chelsea was confessing to Billy, that Adam would finally confess too. I thought, no doubt, like he was dragging it out the whole episode. She asked him point blank at the beginning of the episode, did you sleep with Chelsea? And he dragged it out till the end, trying, booking and dodging all around it before he finally was like, no. But I love that Chelsea chose to tell the truth and Adam chose to keep the lie. I just think that gives us a whole nother layer of complication to look forward to. I have no idea how we are going to go from a mild breakup between Lucy and Faith in the park to double accident next week. I don't know how we're going to get there. Lucy and Faith didn't ride together, so I guess maybe they're like both in their individual cars, and then they both individually had to swerve to miss hitting a squirrel or something, and then they instead run into each other at high speed. I don't know. That's my guess. Squirrel. Well, they had a good convo right before the crash, apparently. Lucy snuck out of the house while she's still grounded because she mostly just wanted to try to make things right with Faith. And I thought that Faith did a very good job of letting Lucy down lovingly. That's a very difficult situation, very delicate, and I thought Faith handled it very well. I also thought it was interesting that Lucy would ask Faith if maybe some of the reason that she didn't want to be friends with her was because of what happened between my dad and your sister, Daniel and Cassie. I thought that created a very heartfelt, very meaningful moment between the two of them. But what happened with Cassie is in the past, and what's going to happen with Lucy and Faith is in the future. In the previews, Daniel and Heather are arriving at the hospital at the same time as Sharon and Nick, and it is looking like it's total flashbacks. I mean, even like the hospital, it feels like it looks like the same as when Cassie died. And it almost kind of feels like maybe Phantom Kirsten's prediction is coming true. Cameron seems to think in Sharon's mind, Sharon seems to think that Cameron thinks in Sharon's mind that Sharon is trying to resolve her feelings about what happened with Cassie, which is impossible, but okay. But but that she's wanting to resolve those feelings as a way to pave a path for a new relationship with her and Nick. And, you know, now that we've seen that preview, I do wonder if maybe whatever is going to occur between Faith and Lucy in the crash and however it plays out, I wonder if it will end up bringing Sharon and Nick together. But, oh, I hope nobody dies out of this. We'll see. I have to say, though, I think that the Cameron Kirsten scenes have got to be coming to an end, don't you think? I mean, I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe it's time to wrap it up, time to end it on a high note, because I really have enjoyed these scenes. There's so much push and pull between Sharon and this version of Cameron that's in her head. And I have to say, one of my favorite parts of the week, one of my favorite scenes of the week, favorite moments of the week was, I especially appreciated Cameron telling Sharon, you just prefer to live in your fantasy world, making out with your hunky ex. Is that a great quote or what? You prefer to live in your fantasy world. Okay, well, pause. Hold on a second. Yeah. That sounds familiar because I can identify with that. I definitely prefer to live in my fantasy world. But the fact that he hit it home with the line, you prefer to live in your fantasy world, making out with your hunky ex. Well, duh. Who wouldn't? You know, the beginning of the week started out a little bit slow for me. It was moving along at a snail's pace, and I was thinking, there's not going to be much to talk about this week. And then we had that run-in between Adam and Kyle on, Wednesday or Thursday? And that just really got my blood flowing. That really felt like something new. I mean, I know Adam and Kyle have had scenes together before, but they really haven't had much to do with each other in any kind of real meaty way. Yeah, they butted heads while Adam was working at Jabot. Kyle got Adam to quit, but you know, it was never that remarkable. I felt that these scenes, this interaction this week was way more remarkable, way more nuanced. I mean, almost, it seemed like a meeting of the Daddy Issues Club, like taking place right before our very eyes. Because on the one hand, you have Kyle, who has his father's unconditional love, but not his father's unconditional job. He is not respected the way he wants to be in business. And then on the other hand, you have Adam, who has always wanted his father's unconditional love, but he always just seems to end up with the job. Always seems to get the respect in business. And I think that's just such a great contrast, and it really adds to my understanding of why these two guys really don't like each other, that maybe they're kind of jealous of each other in a small or big way. I don't know. It's like each guy maybe wants what the other one has, and each guy maybe thinks that the other one seems entitled, you know? The one thing that they were able to actually bond over was their child. You know, they each have a son, and they each are going through struggles with their son and fatherhood at the same time. So I thought that added another layer of interest there. It was deep. And then let's add another layer on top of it. Adam has this long-standing father I never had kind of relationship with Jack, Kyle's dad. And wouldn't you know it, just as Adam was talking to Kyle, Jack was calling Adam to talk about Kyle. What a coincidence. I thought that was great. Jack and Diane have pieced together that Victor is the mystery investor at Glissade, and Jack was hoping that Adam might be able to give him some information about Victor and what Victor might be up to. And Adam really didn't confirm or deny anything, but he did promise to look out for little Kyle so that Kyle doesn't get gobbled up by the big bad wolf or gobbled up by the lion. Yeah, because that's what Victor called himself when he was talking with Billy earlier in the week. Victor thinks of himself as the lion. I'm thinking of him as the big bad wolf, because I'm also thinking of Kyle dressed up in the Red Riding Hood with a little basket skipping down the trail, and Victor comes out of the forest to get him. Let's go with lion. Maybe that's safer. But that little bit that Adam did tell to Jack was enough to reassure Jack that he was right. Victor does own Glissade. Victor does have a plan, and he is using Kyle as a way to come after Jabot and ultimately to come after him again. And bravo to Jack. He came back home and he told Diane, you know what? We are not just going to take this. I mean, that's what we're not going to do. We're not going to lie down and take this. We're going to fight back. And how are they going to do that? We viewers asked. Well, by beating Victor at his own game and by using Jabot to crush Glissade. So here comes Cosmetic Wars 2024. Get ready for war 2024. Oh, and I must say it really is kind of nice seeing Nikki and Victor working together on something. Even if Nikki and Victor are working together as Billy and Lily are coming apart, I still like the Nikki and Victor part. Nikki and Victor have always had stories that revolve around family or romance. They break up, they get back together, they argue over the children, but they never really have had a business storyline together. So them working together toward a common corporate takeover goal, I find to be very surprising and very refreshing. Nikki put it together this week that the reason that Victor hired Adam to take over Newman Media and wanted him to run it so badly was that Victor was planning to weaponize it against Billy. And I'm sure that's all. I'm sure that plan certainly does not involve a revenge plot against Jack too. No, 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 no. But Billy seems to be the primary target. Michael was trying to dig up some dirt on Billy for Victor this week to get back into Victor's good graces. Ugh, Michael, what do you care? What do you care? I would think Michael would want to put Victor Newman in his rearview mirror and just move on with his life, but I guess Michael likes the excitement. So he reported back to Victor this week that Billy's got a clean bill. I mean, there's just all the old stuff we knew about, but he doesn't have any news scandals out there brewing. But Michael was able to uncover that Jill is sick, and, well, no reason to not use that to our advantage. So Nikki and Victor tag teamed it. Nikki started her work kind of trying to establish a bond with Lily. She ended up realizing that they actually do have a common goal of preserving the Chancellor legacy. Where's Chance? Cough, cough. Where's Chance to preserve the Chancellor legacy? And while Nikki was talking with Lily, Victor was telling Billy to watch his ass. Watch your ass. And oh yeah, tell your mother if she needs anything. I'm just a phone call away. Yeah, well, actually, I did not expect to see Chance again for about another month, but Chance actually did make an appearance this week. He had a meeting with Billy. First he walked in on an argument between Billy and Lily, and then he had a talk with Billy at the bar, and Billy gave Chance the heads up that he's tired of letting Lily run the show, and he's going to do something about it. Chance told Billy not to do anything rash, and I thought that I really liked Chance's point that Billy was, in trying to prove everyone wrong about him, gonna end up just proving everyone right about him. And I thought, wow, that is a really insightful comment from Chance. I feel like this is the kind of strong character who probably should be running the business that has his name on the door. I mean, it's Abbott and Chancellor. Maybe it should be Billy and Chance running Abbott Chancellor. That would make sense. But I guess it would be less drama, you know. I mean, whatever. Chance isn't all that exciting. But Billy is. Billy is all fired up for firing. He actually came up with the idea that he was going to have the nerve to just fire Lily. Just get rid of her without even talking to Jill. I mean, I can't imagine what made him think it was going to be okay to do that. I can't imagine that Jill is just going to let that fly. Is Jill not available for questions? Can we not ask her to step in here? I don't know. Maybe Jill is... I keep expecting her to just get fed up with Billy going rogue, and then, you know, maybe she will just decide to replace Billy with Chance. Or, as I've been predicting, maybe Jill will just end up selling the company to Victor, and as it seemed like Jack and Diane were predicting a little bit this week, maybe that will just end up sending Billy back to Jabot. I really liked that conversation that Diane and Jack had this week about Billy. Diane agreed that Billy has a right to add his name to Abbott Chancellor because the Abbott name is just as much belonging to Billy as it does to Jack. And when she was making that point to Jack, I was thinking, yeah, I agree. I mean, if Billy were the owner, that would make complete sense. And the thing that kind of sticks with me is the fact that Billy was kind of trying to sneak it in there, and he was kind of trying to disguise it as Jill's legacy. So that's the only thing that bugs me about it. But yeah, Diane stuck up for him. And she also said that he really deserves a second chance to try to succeed. And she was identifying with him, saying, well, nobody plans to fail. And so maybe he just needs, you know, a second chance, or a third or fourth or fifth. And she was even coming up with, she was using some of Billy's ideas that he came up with during his time at Jabot, which, again, kind of makes me wonder if that is where Billy is going to be headed next. I think it was Victor and Nikki who were predicting that Billy will just go right back to Jabot after they take over the company, even though Diane explicitly said that she does not want any more Abbotts in the C-suite. The Abbotts don't do well when they have a crowded C-suite. And of course, she is still holding out hope that her baby boy will come back, which I think is not likely anytime soon. Kyle is very committed to Glissade, which also means that he is very stuck with Audra. And Audra is stuck with him. Nate was warning Audra this week about this sticky situation that she's got herself in. And Kyle actually had to admit this week to Summer that he doesn't trust Audra, that he doesn't really want to work with Audra. And I guess Kyle kind of just had to say something to Summer to get her off his back. The Audra ultimatum was absolutely ridiculous, and I was so glad that Audra finally had a chance to say, "What are you talking about, Summer? Why are you so worried about me and Harrison? I've never even met this kid." It seemed to me like Summer even started to realize this week that she was being unreasonable. So she went back into negotiations with Kyle. They're trying to keep the custody battle out of court. And I think that Kyle was successful in giving Summer just enough information to get her to back off of the whole Audra demand, which was putting him into a very difficult position. And it seemed to me like Kyle was able to bring Summer back to an almost neutral place. Almost neutral. Besides, at the end of the day, if Summer wants to deem anybody as a threat to her family with Harrison, then it's Claire. How could she be so blind? Claire is getting to do all of this fun crafting activity with Harrison right now. I mean, that paper bag puppet was a freaking work of art. Picasso himself would have been proud of that paper bag puppet. I mean, I have never seen such an uncanny likeness before. When I think of Kyle, I think puppet made out of paper bag. So how much more perfect could it be? And how much more ironic could it be, too? I really feel like whoever came up with that whole idea, the whole paperback puppet idea, I mean, did they mean for it to be so ironic, or was that just a happy accident? Because Kyle is Victor's puppet right now. Victor's probably got his hand up Kyle's bag, you know? I mean, that's practically it. Secretly, practically, Victor's got his hand up Kyle's bag. I mean, we saw in the previews for next week, he's telling him to get rid of Claire. So, I mean, something's got to happen here soon, too. And because we also have Diane and Jack saying that they have to put their heads together. They have to try to save Kyle. You know, I loved, by the way, that Diane found out that or she was strongly suspecting that Victor was the mystery investor because she has eyes and ears around Newman Tower. Somebody told her that Kyle had been seen coming in and out of Newman Tower. And I was like, ooh, how very chic. Diane has spies. Oh, now the game is on. The game is on. Jack and Diane are determined to save Kyle from Victor, from himself, whether he likes it or not. And they better do it quickly before Kyle moves out of the Abbott mansion and into the mansion next door. You are a one-man orchestra. Isn't that fun? I like that line a lot. Lily said it last week, and she was talking to Billy, and she said, you know what? Devon's a one-man band. You're a one-man orchestra. I just thought that was a really fun little comment. And congratulations to Marianne V, Dolores, Ron, Tanya, Justin, Henry, wonderful Wendy, and Sue W. You guys all got it. Yeah. Oh, okay. The one I got this week, I do really like this. Okay, here's the quote for this week. You are a master of finesse. You are a master of finesse. I love the word finesse. It's probably because I used to use their hair care products in the 90s. But I just think that's such a cool word, finesse. It just, ooh, it rolls off the tongue. So the second I heard that, I was like, ooh, nobody gets to use that, but finesse is so finesse. How often do you really get to use that word? So I'm using it this week. Finesse, finesse, finesse. Who said you're a master of finesse? Go to yrchat.com to leave your guess. And if you get it right, then I will give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. And now why don't we take a look at some of your comments, starting with Brent, who says, yesterday Diane made reference to the crowded C-suite at Jabot, and it reminded me, remember the Civil War last year between Ashley and Jack about Ashley's fear that Diane wanted to take over? I know she's out of the picture for the time being, but when Ashley comes back and is healthy again, is she going to resume that fight? Wasn't she proven right? Is that storyline lost forever? Oh, I really hope so. I hope Ashley comes back strong and decides to go to war with Diane over her place at Jabot. Oh, that would be so good. And you're right, they just got totally dropped off. Another storyline that got totally dropped off. Where is Tara Locke? That is the question that keeps coming up. Daisy predicts that once Tara is freed, hopefully soon, that she will return to Genoa City to seek vengeance against Kyle and Summer. Tara, after getting her law degree in prison, finds a way to regain her parental rights. Summer not filing her custody papers might do that. The court then removes Summer's legal claim to Harrison and awards Kyle and Tara joint custody. Tara says they don't need Claire and that maybe she and Kyle should move in together to show Harrison that they are a family, which they do. And then when Tara's revenge plot against Kyle, and that's when Tara's revenge plot against Kyle begins. I love that, Daisy. When is Y&R going to get this memo? The people have spoken. We need Tara to come back and get into this storyline and mix it up. I think we need a baddie. I like the idea that she somehow finds a way to usurp Summer's custody and then tries to move in with Kyle and starts enacting her revenge on him. I love that. I mean, go ahead and I liked the original Tara, but go ahead and recast her if you need to, Y&R. But if you could just get on making that happen, I'm sure you could just do that real quick. Yeah, but you know, I guess it really probably won't take Tara telling Kyle to fire Claire, because it kind of seems like Victor's going to tell Kyle to do it next week. So, I don't know, maybe Kyle is going to be getting rid of Claire sooner rather than later, and maybe some of you will be happy about that. Robin says, Claire's goody-goody personality is about to make me sick. Today, her realtor bit was the final straw. Once Kyle deflowers her, she is going to be making up for lost time. Lucky Kyle. Problem is, they seem mostly ugh to me. Well, Robin, now that sounds like a good place for a poll question. I gotta know. I mean, we've definitely been hearing a lot of people saying that they're just not liking Claire's sticky, sweet personality. And so I wonder if, you know, how you guys are feeling about Claire and Kyle at this point. So that's our poll question for the week. Claire and Kyle, cute or puke? If you want to vote in that, you should go to yrchat.com and let me know what you're feeling. Different topic. Lara says, Faith was absent from Y&R for such a long time, and I missed her. She's been a real asset to the show this summer. Serious and thoughtful, and wow, those soulful eyes. Soulful eyes. Yeah, you know, I do like Faith. I mean, they're not going to kill her, right? If anybody's dead meat, it's Lucy, right? I've enjoyed having Faith around too. Victoria says, I agree with the other chatters and Allie that Cameron's ghost is a great addition. I appreciate that he tried to clean up a little today. Cameron's conversation with Sharon, his conversations with Sharon are so enlightening. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to hear what he has to say next. He really is a good actor too, isn't he, Victoria? I mean, he plays the part so well that it's like he's a disgusting pig, but it's interesting to watch. Sue W. says the actor playing Cameron is pretty great, and I can certainly go with Sharon's apparitions. But the whole premise of psychologist extraordinaire or whatever she is, Sharon, counseling herself this way is pretty funny. She's good, but doing her own therapy, why not? Cheaper than sessions, I guess. Don't we all kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but don't we all kind of try to be our own therapists in a way? Like, I don't know, I'm always trying to peel apart something psychologically inside. Like, okay, well, am I thinking that because of this? Or, you know, I mean, I feel like that it's at least identifiable. And Cameron is this visual representation of that, which just makes it fascinating to watch. Ooh, let's move over to the topic of the week. Sherrod says Adam had no reason to lie to Sally. Could he not tell that with every fiber in her being that she would have forgiven him? Stupidity reigns with Adam. He didn't learn a damn thing from the first breakup. And I see now that he wears his father's name well. Let's not forget that he was actually named after Victor. Ooh, Sherrod, Adam's wearing the Victor Jr. name tag this week. Do you think that Sally would have forgiven him if he just would have come clean about it up at the top? Maybe if right when they got back. If he immediately right when they got back said, okay, this happened, I think she could have forgiven. But he lied for weeks. I mean, it was multiple lies on top of lies. But it was all kind of like, what happened? And we're trying to figure, nothing happened. You know, it was all very vague. It was when she asked him point blank, no uncertain terms, did you sleep with Chelsea? When he flat out lied about that. That's where I think, the straw, that would have been the final straw. There's no way she's going to forgive him after that. T. Nicole says, I could understand Chelsea and Adam wanting to hide the fact that they slept together, but watching Chelsea feel that the right thing to do ultimately was tell the truth to Billy, while at the same time watching Adam straight out lie to Sally's face, just makes these moments show Adam as the flawed person every character on the show claims he is. I overall love Adam, but I can't believe in a moment where he was directly asked to do the right thing and confess or lie, he put himself and his needs over Sally's. I loved the original Adam and Sally, but I don't want them together anymore after watching him lie to her face. Adam cheating on Sally was not great and bad, but the direct lie to her face felt worse and a bigger betrayal of the trust. T. Nicole, yes, it's like that lie, that moment was way bigger than the sleeping together itself. Yes. But you know, I will say I do think that probably in Adam's mind, he wasn't just keeping the secret for himself. I think he was probably also trying to keep it to preserve Chelsea's relationship with Billy. I think in Adam's mind, he was like, okay, we're keeping this under wraps and then nothing has to change. Nobody's life has to get blown up. We can just move on. Just move on. You know, Adam is more comfortable in that gray area. That's who he is. That is his character's personality. So let's just, okay, it happened or whatever, but it causes more damage to tell the truth. So I'm going to keep it under wraps. That helps keep my relationship under wraps. That helps keep Chelsea's relationship under wraps. Or not under wraps, but intact. Helps keep the two relationships intact. Probably also helps keep some level of calm when it comes to Connor. Connor doesn't have to know anything's going on, so keeping that intact. I think that was also his motivation. I mean, I think he was himself, and he was probably his own number one priority, but I think all those other things came into as a factor too. But I love your comment that it's like, oh, it shows that he is this flawed character. That's why I like it. That's why I like it. You know, we have Claire on the one hand, who everyone is complaining is so goody two shoes and it's just blah, it's getting so annoying. But then we have Adam. I mean, this is a flawed personality. I mean, everyone's capable of a lie. All of us are capable of a lie, and certainly he is too, and that was the path that he chose, and I mean, it certainly makes him more interesting and more nuanced to me. He certainly wouldn't be the first guy on a soap to cheat and lie about it, you know. Henry says, in classic soap fashion, Chelsea texts Adam stating that she had confessed to Billy. Next week's episode should be really explosive. Adam, how do you get yourself out of this one? So much for Sally stating just last week that she was proud of her ability to, and I'm paraphrasing, read people. Sally knew, you know, and that's the thing. Sally knew deep down, and she should have trusted her own instinct. She pushed her own instinct aside and decided to believe Adam. I mean, because they had really been through the ringer. She couldn't have asked him any more times. She couldn't have asked him any more ways. He wasn't going to confess. And I think she just thought, well, I have no choice but to take him at his word, no matter how much I feel it. No matter how much I feel it's true. And that's why she's going to ask Billy to stay. Yeah, I mean, just again, I don't love that, you know, I'm not saying I support, you know, I shouldn't have to caveat this. I'm not saying, oh, yay, it's good for people to have affairs. I'm saying I enjoy the drama, and I enjoyed especially that Adam had just finished sealing the deal with Sally, like covering it up, sweep, 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 nothing left to do here, like let's have a coffee or let's get a drink or whatever, like it was done, he was safe, he said he felt like he resolved it, and not 5 seconds later he goes and grabs his phone and Chelsea tells him that she told Billy. I mean, that's just too good. It's just too good. You know, I'm kind of surprised because I asked you guys in a poll last week if you were interested in seeing a romantic reunion between Adam and Chelsea, like not just the one-time sex, but I mean, we had all this intimacy with them in the park. Do you want to see them get back together? 52% of you said yes. 48% of you said no. So I mean, it's almost a completely even split for wanting to see them get back together. Tanya says, I voted no because for now I only see them as co-parents to Connor, but maybe in the future if I see sparks and chemistry that they once had, but for now, no. Victoria also voted no. I'd like Adam and Chelsea to confess and promise it's a one-time thing. Sally and Billy will forgive them. Then, with the guilt gone, Adam and Chelsea are drawn together over bonding as a family, and a steamy affair can be born. That would have been a way to go for sure. That's the thing. It's like it wasn't some kind of steamy ongoing affair. It was a one-time thing. That's the thing about lying, right? I mean, you did the thing and it seems so easy. Let me just lie. I'll just lie and cover it up and then I don't have to think about it anymore. But then you have to do more lies to cover up the original lies, and it's just so classic. Naomi voted yes that she wants to see Adam and Chelsea together again, saying, I want Sally to take the revelation of betrayal with a flash of anger and then be over it. Don't waste your time pining over Adam, Sally. Put on your best dress and move on looking fabulous. Naomi atta girl. I love that comment. Yeah, I mean, Sally needs to turn around. Don't think twice. Sally needs to not think twice. Get out of that apartment. Put on your best dress and keep walking. Great advice. Well, Sue W. says sure to the Adam and Chelsea reunion, although it's not an enthusiastic yes, but it's a yes, but Adam and Chelsea have a powerful connection developed from rich history, as do Adam and Sharon, as do Adam and Sally, and as do each of the women with other men as well. So, okay, ring around the lust and love Rosie, why not? Adam and Chelsea together would be healthy for Connor. Well, only if it lasted, which it wouldn't. So back to my unresounding yes for purely soapy reasons. Yeah, you know what? It's maybe kind of it's sort of a why not. Maybe that's why 52%. It's not a resounding yes. It's just a why not. All right, let's move on. Steven says, my guess on Victor's cunning plan to take over Chancellor. Drop hints that he's after Chancellor. Done. Cause a fight between Billy and Lily. Done. Force Lily out. Done soon. In short order, expect Billy to take over and, true to form, drag the company down, buy the near bankrupt company from Jill for a song, install Nikki and Claire, demote Billy to the custodial crew, rehire Lily as a consultant reporting to Claire, and change the name to Chancellor Newman Industries. It should be completed within a week or so. I'm still unsure if Chance will continue to be Billy's sweeper or whether he'll find a trusted position with his name on the marquee. Yeah, because I don't think Billy would want to stay and work for, he doesn't want to work for Lily. He's certainly not going to work for Lily and Nikki together. Victoria says, I expect to see Lily with a neck brace on next time I see her. She's been jerked around so much by Billy, I'm sure she has whiplash. Billy is acting so insecure under all that bravado. It's time for Jill to come back to Genoa City and see what's going on. I don't think Chance can save this one. Yeah, Jill needs to step in here. And I think that's the primary reason why I'm totally okay with Victor buying Chancellor Industries or somebody else buying it. Whoever the owner is, I need them to be more able to participate and make some decisions here. And what's going on with the board? Who's on the board then? If Devon's all gone, I don't know, is it just Jill and Billy and Lily on the board? I don't know. Ron says, at this point, Billy has no place in any business. I don't think he could even help Katie run a lemonade stand without having a nuclear meltdown. When Billy texted Lily to meet him ASAP and threw back a scotch, I thought Chance was going to say, you're losing it, man. Maybe he should have thrown back a lemonade instead from Katie's lemonade stand. Oh, Naomi says, I'm going to do a flip-flop and now defend Billy. How tiring it must be to have each day filled with negative encounters. Billy is greeted with dismissive comments and unsolicited advice. Everyone calls him a screw-up and future screw-ups are predicted. He mostly shrugs it off. Hats off to Billy for Teflon demeanor. I want Billy to outwit Victor. Oh, good, Naomi. Yeah. And again, that's one of the reasons why I liked that Diane stepped in there and defended him a little bit this week. I thought that was a nice touch. Billy needs somebody in there batting, in his corner. Batting in his corner? That doesn't make sense. He needs a coach in his corner. A supporter. A wrestling coach. I don't know. I need to give up this sports analogy. Let's talk about tattoos. Diana says, a few weeks ago, I mentioned that I'm noticing that we're seeing tattoos on many of the characters that we never see. It seems like each week we're seeing a different character with a tattoo. I first saw Lily with her henna on her hands, a tattoo on the back of Sally's neck, Devon with tattoos on his arm, and I believe we saw one on Mariah and Daniel with arm tattoos. The newest one that stood out for me this week was Billy's arm tattoo of a Canada goose. I think it's very nice and honorable to see that Jason Thompson chose a tattoo that represents his country of origin. He made it to Hollywood, but he has not forgot where he comes from. Yes, Diana, I've been thinking about this comment since you originally made it, and I was like, I wish I would have grabbed that comment and talked about it. I just didn't have time that week. But, yeah, like Daniel has the mustache tattoo on his finger. It's a little funny. Yeah, lots of tattoos. I didn't see Lily's henna, but I know she has some angel wings somewhere. I can't remember where they are. Yeah, but I will say Billy's tattoo was a feature of the week for sure. I saw that a couple weeks ago and I processed it and I thought, is it a goose? No, it can't be. And then this week when I saw it, I was like, it is a goose. And I thought to myself, well, that almost seems like Canadian. Is he Canadian? And I went to Google and I specifically to see if he was Canadian, and sure enough, he is. So that's very interesting. I'm wondering if there are any other tattoos out there that you guys have seen that we didn't see. Claire has some tattoos too. She was wearing a dress, maybe on like her ribs or something. I could swear I saw some tattoos on Claire. Who else have we not mentioned here that you have spotted a tattoo on? And follow-up question, do you have a tattoo? If so, what is it? Let's chat about that this week at yrchat.com. I'll start us out. I have no tattoos. Your turn. Wow, that's a Y&R chat. Sometimes I amaze myself at how close I always get to 1 hour. I'm not exactly at 1 hour, but I get really close, and it's not intentional. I don't know how I time it. It's just Y&R chat always comes out to about 1 hour, give or take. Usually 50 minutes to 1 hour. It's just that's the amount that I always have to say every week. I look over at my recording, and now I'm at 58 minutes. That's pretty amazing. Well, okay. So, I guess that's the end of me and the beginning of you. So go to yrchat.com, leave me all your comments this week. I'm sure it'll take you a whole lot less than an hour. But I always love reading what you guys have to say. And thank you for listening to what I have to say. I will be back again next Sunday, and I will see you then. I love you guys. Have a good week. Bye.